Hi, my name's Bronwyn Jane. Welcome to video number 3, things that you need to know about readings. We're going to talk about names within this. Now, sometimes depending on your reader, because every reader is different, they may be expressing names either as the full name, the sound of the name, maybe the beginning of the name, the end of the name. It may just be the letter. When they say the letter, they may know that it is a gender, like so the male names or female names. So it could be presented to you in any of those ways. The reason why there's a variable is a couple of reasons based on how your reader works, whether they hear spirit, see spirit, or even sort of feel spirit, or all of them. Also, their reference point with that spirit can draw on when they work with the reader, because there's a whole technical aspect to how that works with reading. So that's why it can show up a few different ways. Now, when they bring through a name, what you need to be aware of, that name may be any of the following. It could be your first name, your middle name, your nickname, your last name. It could be any of those for spirit. It could be any of those for people associated with spirit. So those that are passed with them, that are standing next to them, that they're trying to identify, or those that are significant in your life that they're trying to identify. So when you get a name in a reading, when a reader talks about a name, consider all those relationships. Now, often when that happens, when spirit brings up a name, it is because this is a jumping off point. I call it a daisy chain, where spirit wants to go. They may just wish to acknowledge that person, whether they're standing next to them in the spirit world or they want to talk to about someone that's living. But it is a point where they are taking the conversation. So if we can't remember who they're talking about initially, what can happen is it shuts down that stream of the conversation, because spirit quite often won't then put a lot of energy into it if you don't know who they're talking about. They may, it just depends, but that's what can happen when we can't identify it. But if we can identify it, it's fabulous, because what happens is spirit says, okay, great, now I can continue on with the rest of the story about this situation, about this person, whatever I need to talk about. So be aware of that. But that's how names work. It depends, and I said, whether the reader can and find the name based on whether they know the name, whether they've heard the name before. So that's why it could show up as, you know, the whole name, what the name sounds like, or even just the letter. Now, in regards to date, very similar to names, they will give a date. It may be a number, it may be a month, okay, and it will be significant, once again, for spirit, okay, something to do with their life, or you or someone around you that spirit wants to talk about. So your medium or your psychic may say, you know, it's October, or it's the 10th, and they will often say, now I know that this, depending on what else spirit communicates at this point in time, because they will give other symbols. But if they don't, it makes it a little bit more challenging for the reader. But if they do, we might be able to say it's a birthday or whatever it is. But if they don't, we will have to go, it's either a birthday, it's either an anniversary, it's something to do with their passing. All the things that could be significant. Sometimes it's about an event that's coming up that spirit's aware that it's coming, like a wedding that they know is coming, or someone's about to be born and they know that they're going to be born in February. And so they're acknowledging that, hey, I know that this is happening for you guys. So be aware of that with numbers and dates. This is how it works. Now, as I said, spirit will show or say, or even give a symbol of that period of time if it's a season. So it's up to you and the reader to be able to understand and work together through validation about what spirit is talking about. So spirit knows that you understand them, and then they will keep going with their story. And if you don't understand, that is okay to say no, as we've covered in video 2. It's okay to say that you don't understand, and we will go back to spirit, check for more information, try and understand what they're trying to express. And if we can't, then Spirit will move on to something else unless it's super, super critical, and then we'll spend time working our way through that. So I hope this information has helped, so you can go when you sit with someone to have a reading, to have a little bit more awareness about how it works and how Spirit communicates and how you need to show up for your reading so you have the best reading possible. Have a wonderful day.